Okay.
This is the old North Church.
Oh.
And the one that we just passed behind us was the new North Church.
Oh. We're going to the Clough House.
Yeah. We went in there once, years ago. And they were doing a really cool chocolate demonstration. Has a printing office. Want to go in the gift shop?
Come on in.
Let's come in, it's air conditioned.
Oh, thank God.
See, I think when we were here a long time ago, they were doing chocolate.
Chocolate?
We were doing a chocolate demonstration. I think it was right here.
They're doing demonstrations of something.
Oh, there's some. Center Street. Nice and smooth though.
I see the printing press.
Okay, any cool stuff you're getting here so far from?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
So could you imagine this is how they print back then?
Oh, wow.
Instead of just hitting print on a computer?
Cool.
Yeah, before printers were machines and printers were people instead.
Yeah.
Printing used to be a job.
So you know, she's getting ink all over.
Yep.
That's very messy.
Wow.
Yeah, if you guys want to come over here, I'll show you. I know it's a little far back, but this whole document, every document, you know, when you guys pull up, you gotta like type something for a class or something like that, right? You know how you have to press a single letter,
Yeah.
letter by letter, space by space, and that's how you get your document? It's the same thing here, except every letter that you press is a piece of metal that has to be slotted into a little folder that looks like this. So that is what typing looks like for them. So every piece is put in. All the spaces in between are all pieces of metal as well. How many pieces do you guys think are in this rectangle right here, this document? Well, there is a lot. Anybody's welcome to take a guess if you guys want. It's letter by letter, space by space. It's a method known as hand set type because you hand set all these pieces.
1,200.
1,200? Okay. 1,000? Okay. It's actually 12,000.
Wow.
12,000 pieces. So it's a lot in here. But the process all starts out with our typecase. So there's uppercase letters in the uppercase, lowercase letters in the lowercase, and yes, that is where we got those words in English, is uppercase letters and lowercase letters.
Oh.
Literal
That's cool.
cases, right? Yeah, it's kind of fun. And so all of the boxes, you can kind of think of them like a key on a keyboard. They all hold their own letter. But they're also called a sort. That's what they were called back then. And so if you've ever heard the phrase out of sorts, you're feeling out of sorts, you're feeling a little scrambled, that actually comes from this. That's when you run out of a certain letter. Because it kind of became associated with the idea of being like kind of fuzzy and scrambled, because if a printer runs out of a letter, you can't just order one letter, you have to order a full case, upper and lower case. You then have to wait for it to be, that order to go across the ocean, wait for it to be made, to then have that shipped back over to you. So it could be months before you have that letter again. So that's where that term comes from, which is kind of fun. But yes, so these composite sticks, they come in all shapes and sizes. And this is how we are going to compose our paste. That's why it's called a composing stick. And so like I said, typing looks just like this. Every letter gets slotted in, like so. And then once you're done with your line, you move it onto what's known as an imposing table, which is just a very flat piece of rock, so that you can organize all your pieces together. And then you're gonna go ahead and put a steel frame around it and put some pieces called furniture. So that's what these little wooden pieces are. And then once this is all done, then you can actually do the printing, because then you can block it in to your press here. Okay, so to put the ink on, we're not going to use an ink roller because those are not invented for about another 40 to 45 years. They're not invented until the 1820s. And so we're going to use this. It's called an ink ball. It's a handful of sheep's wool in a wooden cup with a piece of damp leather tacked around on the top. And so what we're going to do So I'm gonna grab some ink. I got an ink shelf off to my left over here. And you're just gonna beat the ink right onto the type. And doing this was its own job back in the day. So somebody's job was to literally go to work, beat ink on type all day long, and then go home and do it all over again tomorrow. And so the other person is going to be, there's the beater who beats the ink, and the puller is going to pull up our frisket. So then going to put the paper up top here. And the paper that they used was actually not made out of wood like we're used to today. So if it's not made out of wood, what do you guys think it might be made of? I'll give you a hint. I can almost guarantee you that all of us are using this. It's a good guess. You're very close. I can guarantee you every one of us in this room is probably using it right now.
Two hours later.
Actually cotton. Your clothing. Yeah, so like t-shirts. For them, what it would have been was, so they used to wear between 3 and 5 layers of clothing every day, which seems like a lot, but that was just the fashion of their time. And so their undermost layer would have either been a button-up or an underdress, and that was just plain cotton. And so what they would do is when those started getting holes in it or worn out, they would sell those to rag makers, who would then sell those to paper mills across the ocean. They would make that into paper, and then we would get it shipped back here. And so to compress it, we're gonna do 1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so
Beautiful.
cool.
Just like that, we've got our Declaration of Independence. And so, the only thing left to do in this process is we're gonna leave it out to dry, right? Because of course the ink is wet, but the paper is actually also wet. And the reason for that is because if you print onto dry paper, there's nowhere for the ink to go, right? It just kind of sits on top. But if you put a little bit of water in it, it's the same idea as taking a drop of ink, or a drop of, I said it right, a drop of ink and putting it into a cup of water. Water absorbs it and the whole cup turns black, right? So it's the same idea. So if you dampen the paper, instead of that ink just sitting on top, it actually will be absorbed by whatever water is in the paper. So when it dries, it's no longer black ink on white paper, but rather literally black and white colored paper. The reason that's so important is if you let that dry for about 24 hours, you can actually re-wet the page, and that's how you print on the back side. It's by doing.
Wow.
So,
Cool.
does anybody have any questions?
That was
How
awesome.
did they make the ink? Like, what did they make the ink out of?
So it's all natural. Boiled linseed oil, carbon black, kind of like charcoal, and pine resin for our common press. Because all the type is sticking up from the press, ink itself is just kind of, it's liquid, right? And so what that pine resin does is it makes it super sticky, so it actually stays on top and has something to press into the paper. Whereas our copper plate engraving press over here, because you're dealing with really, really fine lines, you actually don't have any, obviously you don't want anything super sticky in the so it's pretty much the same recipe, it's just minus the resin. So.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, so that's cool that she's an English major and like.
Well, that's what
she
we
does
just
this.
that's what we just did. Watch Free Colonial.
That's cool. She's an English
Printing
major.
demonstration.
She's like doing this as a side job.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool. All
That
right.
was neat. Did you want to see her?
So look out here. Our crypt.
1723. This is the old church. Ooh. This says crypt entrance. Is it open?
Where?
Okay. Let's see what it says. Combo ticket for
Gotta get tickets.
I don't know.
Ticket required. Little garden area.
This is nice. Have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Are they growing? Plant.
Bet you don't get any deer here. Office, people
think so.
apartments.
Cute area though.
Yeah. Old North gift
How
shop.
about the tickets? Maybe in the gift shop. No trip. Combo. Crypt combo. Self-guided crypt tour. Explore the 1,100 bodies are laid to rest.
What time is it?
Oh, you have to do the tour at the time. It's 11:40. I'm going to go inside. I feel like this used to be free.
Yeah.
Say that these special stickers.
Okay, now unlock.
Turn it up. Turn. No, I thought we were anything up there.
This is Queen Elizabeth II. Oh.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. You ready? Fire there.
Say hey, baby. I like how honest they are about all these things.
Where's the crypt tour? The other side?
We can go this way, I think. Maybe? We'll see.
Might as well try. The third lantern.
Nice, go around.
Oh. Gotta go around.
Let's go around.
Hello.
Hello. Watch your head.
These are the crypts. Somebody buried in there?
This is the door into the
Number 17, Samuel Watts and Peter Dickerman's tomb.
Watch your head in here. All the way.
Yeah.
It's hard to read. I'm like a flash.
William Dilloway's tomb, number 16, 1831.
This is August
Hoffman.
31st, 1811. Aged 17 days. 17 days? Oh, wow.
There's dead people in here.
Yeah. Thomas.
Thorpe.
Is that the church upstairs?
Shine the light up here.
Is that the church upstairs?
Yeah. Right below the church.
Oh, probably is very bright. Oops.
There's your light.
Wait, hold on. I thought it was on.
Oh. This brick. Stranger's Tomb, 1813. It's walled off. I don't want him getting out.
I'd like to see my Uncle John.
1930, a member of the church, Walter Lawrence Sawyer, told a story of his boyhood growing up in the North End. As a 9-year-old boy, Sawyer used to give his own tours of Old North to tourists and sightseers. If the travelers appeared to be of the right sort financially, young Walter would bring them to the crypt and hint that for a quarter he would show the visitors Uncle John. If the coin were produced, Sawyer would reveal a key that he had retrieved from his grandmother's house. He would then unlock one of the tombs and slip into the lid of the coffin belonging to his Uncle John. There on display, Uncle John was, in Sawyer's words, involuntarily working to increase the wealth of his thirsty descendant.
If only it was that easy today.
What's back there?
It's like electrical stuff.
Well, where's Uncle John?
Maybe, I think there's another side.
Smells like dead people.
No, it smells like a basement, but actually not as bad. I have a feeling they're decomposed. There's one. It's a family tomb.
John Hoffman, family tomb, 1813. Sealed forever.
Look at many people. It's hard to read, huh?
Yeah.
Something died at 45.
1,100 people
And
buried here.
Ruggles, 1742.
Ones are missing.
Yes.
That's what it tells me on the paper. The most famous person is Captain Samuel Nicholson, the first commander of the USS Constitution. Oh, it tells you. Where was he? Maybe.
Nickel, the train deceased, dime, served deceased, quarter.
That's what it's like.
Are they old? I'm not.
And then they just bury their coffin in there,
I guess so.
and then they seal it up.
Smaller people, huh?
I wonder how they put them in there.
Probably lengthwise, I guess.
Come on. Tyler.
Small.
Everything's behind the door.
Yep.
1802.
This is buried in that tomb, in the center of the aisle. You read it. You're good at reading.
In the center of this aisle is a tomb containing the remains of Shubael Bell. You may remember him from your visit to the sanctuary of the church. Well, Bell donated the altar paintings and the bust of George Washington. Shubael Bell was not a very wealthy man, but he was certainly a generous one. In addition to donating artwork, he worked toward prison reform in Boston, helped start Old North Sunday School, and served as a warden for the congregation at Old North Church. His tomb is almost directly beneath the warden's pew. He would have sat in at the back of the church, a reminder of his commitment to service and active citizenship.
There he is.
Thank you, Shubael.
Where's this at? Oh no, this is Samuel Nicholson. This is the guy.
Right, you can see him right there, the one on the right.
What does it say?
Shubael Bell
Oh,
and Robert F. something.
I was reading this one. I guess behind these doors are bodies.
Will cut number 7.
This is the famous guy that was on the USS Constitution.
Samuel Nicholson. Look at all the money.
Yeah, it's common. Look right here, it tells you why.
It's common practice to leave coins in the graves of those who are armed with service as a sign of respect. Penny signifies the visitor has been to the grave. Nickel signifies the visitor was trained with the deceased.
Yeah.
Dime signifies the visitors. Are there any nickels up here? There are. Oh my gosh, we're liars.
Hey, look at that one's from another country or something.
There's a nickel here. Dime signifies the visitor served with the deceased.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey, now.
there's a dime.
A lot of people visited.
Quarter signifies the visitor was with the deceased when they died.
There's time travelers.
Absolutely liars.
You know? No, they're time travelers.
Oh. Yeah, unless we have a lot of time travelers. It sounds like his name, Nicholson.
Oh, it's a piece of wood. I thought it was a book.
Well, that's the dead people.
1100 of them in here. 1808.
Anything up in tomb. This is where I want to be buried for eternity. Died 21st or 4th of January, 1807. What'd she say?
She said that this was one of the biggest crypts in Boston that's under a church.
When he saw that
Oh.
bus, he stopped his
There's another one, but she doesn't think it's open to the
King's
public.
Chapel Church.
They might be smaller.
bill.
Yeah.
Tends to be an
That's
older
pretty
Washington.
interesting.
Hoover Stewart's buried in Boston. But it's that bust of a younger Washington soldier at Lafayette just struck out.
This is a gift shop.
In this neighborhood? Well,
Get your coins here.
Buy a little.
I wonder what this was. Look at their stuff.
No, they're really talented. I wonder how they keep it so smooth and shiny in the cuts.
Maybe they rub it with a little water.
Well, maybe this one's good. Let's try this one. Little Legos, not Legos.
There's yours.
If it's not, it counts. Aha, that's not true. No, this is mine.
I meant to behave, but there were too many others.
I like that one better.
Now we have the Old North Church, which we did first was the Clough
Oh, the Clough House. Clough
Clough.
House.
House.
Ebenezer cloth.
Yeah, so this was the Old North Church, and we went right next door to the Clough House. I guess it's like the oldest brick building in the area there, 1715. But That's worth seeing if they have that demonstration there. They have
The printing press.
Yeah, that lady was. She was. What you said it was? She was an English major.
Yeah, she works at some college, and they're English majors. They come in, they volunteer their time, and you can tip them. Remember, we tipped them.
Yeah.
And then you can tip them, and they know all about the printing press, and they tell you the history of it. It's really cool.
Yeah. And she was very informative and very open. And sometimes you go in with the camera, and people are like, "What do you do? What do you do? Get out of here!" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I got a camera. Let me do the whole demonstration for you."
Yeah.
So she was nice. Really nice. That was good to see that. Learn some things about uppercase
really
and lowercase letters.
Yeah.
How it's actually the case. The bigger ones are on the top.
It's always like, oh my gosh, that was so simple. How come I didn't think of that?
Clough House.
Yeah.
So that was
a little
interesting.
gift shop too.
Yeah.
I love gift shops. Yeah.
And the Old North Church, that was just like a quick run through. Everybody was being quiet in there. It was because you're listening to the audio tour.
Yeah.
And it was interesting.
Well, we went downstairs, remember?
Yeah, well, you do the North Church first.
Okay, I was rushing.
So we did the Old North Church, and then what'd you think
of that?
That
was interesting, because you didn't have the earphones in, but I did. And you got to download the app and walk around and listen, because the reason why everyone's quiet, because they're telling you all the history of all this church, and like the window, how somebody at one time like the window got broken into or broken out of. Like there was something that I forget what happened, but something happened with the window.
Yeah.
Talks about how, the church pews, how people had to pay, and then it talked about who owned which one.
But if you go, you have to do the audio tour, because otherwise
it's boring.
Yeah, I wasn't listening. She was, so she found it interesting.
And I kept wanting to stop, and you were like ready to go. And
Yeah,
I'm like, no way, I'm still listening. I'm hearing all about this pew and all the drama that happened.
Yeah, if you don't have the audio tour, you're just looking around like going,
it's an old building.
Am I supposed to pray?
No, you got to know the history, otherwise it's boring.
Yeah.
It was really cool history, though.
Cool history.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. And then the crypt down below, which is the combo ticket you can buy with the Old North Church, access to the Old North Church.
You're saying, would you recommend buying it?
I mean,
maybe if you didn't have any kids with you. Because it's like you walk down there and,
maybe at night. Maybe if they had
it's cool to see, but if you had kids with you, they'd be bored. They just want to walk.
Yeah, it's like a quick U tunnel.
Yeah. Well, they blocked it off one spot.
Maybe they should have some like Halloween decorations.
Oh yeah, make it real creepy. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. About that.
make it a little more exciting.
Put some scary music in. It's supposed to be a church.
It's underneath the church.
That's creepy though.
Yeah, maybe some spooky music. Some flickering lights, something.
Yeah, maybe around Halloween or something.
But as it is right now, I would pass.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, you're going down and saw like.
Well, you'll see on the video, right?
Yeah, you're going to like a graveyard. Oh, somebody died here a long time ago.
Except for this one, they're buried under the church.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe if they had an audio tour down there telling you who these people were, but then
right. It needs an audio tour.
But if you're listening, then there's more people. You're in the way.
That's true.
There's not much room. I mean, it's just another money grab, I think. Trying to get more money out of it, but
it's interesting.
Yeah, you take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I would say the crypt is a 3. Yeah, I mean, it's like,
visiting the cemeteries were more interesting, huh?
Yeah, I was.
And the free ones to walk around were more interesting.
Yeah.
This was just like, we wanted to see what a crypt looked like under a church. That was it.
Yeah,
that was the curiosity.
Rate the crypt.
I gotta see what a crypt looks like under a church.
What do you think of crypt? What do you think? 3?
Well, that's the only crypt I've ever seen. So.
Oh, I know, but how would you rate the fun?
Oh, the fun? It was boring.
Yeah, it was like a 3.
Yeah.
It was like mildly interesting. How about the Old North Church?
Well, if you listen to the audio, it's definitely a 7. Because it's not... It's really, especially if you're a history buff, then it's definitely like super interesting. But
I thought it was average 5.
That's because you didn't listen to the 7 for if
but
you
even
listen to the audio.
It's so small. Oh. fun. Fun.
Yeah. It's just,
Interesting.
no, it's
you know.
educational. It's not
Yeah.
about fun. It's about the education of the church.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. But you could probably download the book. You could probably ask AI about the history of that church, and they could tell you a quick history, and you wouldn't even have to listen to it.
I'm
but
just thinking in the lines of somebody coming to visit Boston, and where would they rank this? Like, how important is it to see the Old North Church and the crypt? I'd put it
oh yeah, well, a
somewhere
5.
in the middle. Yeah, somewhere.
Right.
I wouldn't be like rushing.
There's more interesting things to see in
the high
Boston.
priority. Yeah, but
Yeah, probably outside. Just seeing the outside, getting a picture, boom, you're done. You saw it.
5 for me.
Yeah.
What about the Clough House?
The gift shop was way better.
The gift shop. Yeah.
No, the Clough House. I would have thought that was more interesting than the Old North
If
Church.
they have the demonstration.
Yeah.
going.
Which I think they do. Only if they open it, they have it going.
No, hell, that was the most interesting
Yeah.
thing of the whole
You know,
thing.
when we moved here a long time ago, that they had like a little chocolate demonstration. They were showing like how they used to do chocolate. So they had other stuff going on at one time, but they didn't have it then. So. But yeah, no, it's not like if you miss it, you're okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, there's a lot more interesting things. Probably even going to an old restaurant would be more interesting.
Well, the Clough House was like a 6.
Yeah. Yeah. It's education.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's good. That's what you like.
I do like history.
Yeah.
If that's what you like.
Well, just
I do. All right.
all right.
Well,
6 out of 10.
thanks.
Enjoy.
Yeah, you seem all. All right. Until the next, maybe a treat.
And she says,
Well,
I'm
bye.
never coming home.